Right on cue, Tommy Tortoise asks,
How do we make a start? Love it.
and Ricky Rat's just buzzing, yes, let's go, ready for action. Mental skills training for athletes, it's right up there with the physical and the technical stuff.
You got it. And we're diving into a really unique resource for this. Script and Screenplay ebook, version 1. It's by Dr. John M. Hogg.
Based right here in BC, Canada, PhD coach, a real OG in the swimming world especially.
He really is. And this ebook, it's connected with Lifespan Aquatics Programs, Current Wave of Canada, and ISCA, the International Swim Coaches Association.
And the cool part is how it's designed. It's literally a script. The idea is you use it for role-playing with your athlete.
Actually having athletes act out these scenes. What a way to get these concepts to stick, you know?
Such a valuable learning experience built right in. And this is part of a larger course, an LMS course over at read.swimisca.org. We'll put the landing page link in the show notes for you.
Scene 1, the importance of mental skills training. Picture this. Sunny afternoon, athletes milling about before the 9th annual All-Comers Animal Games.
Right. And the core question they hit right away is, okay, you've done the technical work, the physical, the tactics. What else is there? What's missing?
Eddie Eagle gets the ball rolling. Says you got to consider all aspects.
And then you hear from everyone, Ronnie Rhino, the rugby player, he's all about the technical skills. Just get those right.
But Fiona Flamingo, figure skating, she pipes up like, well, that's not enough for me. You know, talking about slipping around.
Yeah, and Bernie Bulldog from Field Events, he's all about fitness, aggressive mindset, chasing cats for aerobics. Bit intense.
Then Ekin Rabbit, track athlete, questions if maybe it's all a bit mindless, just doing the physical stuff.
And Bonnie Beaver, triathlon, she shares a story physically ready, but a mental slip-up, something but a hammer. Ouch.
Oof. Ricky Rat from hockey jumps in, thinks strategy and tactics are the key.
Makes sense for hockey. Maxi Mouse, tennis, needs like 3 things. Consistent skill, fitness, and smart plays.
And Lynette Lynx, gymnastics, talks balance and agility. Vital for her.
So you see all these different priorities, right? But Eddie Eagle pulls it together. He's like, okay, skill, fitness, strategy, important, yes. But they don't give you complete control over results.
That's the kicker. And Ernie Emu asks the big one. Is something else missing? The mental part.
Bingo! Eddie Eagle confirms it, says Ekin Rabbit's comment about the mindless approach really sparked the idea of the place of the mind.
Then Ollie Owl introduces the term mental skills. Could that be the thing to boost performance?
Which leads Carrie Cougar to ask pretty directly, so what are mental skills? And silence.
Yeah, nobody really knows how to define it yet.
Until Oral Hoops Orangutan steps up. He says it's about using your mind just as much as your body. Things like visualizing, controlling emotions, aiming for that optimal performance.
That clicks for Maxi Mouse. Like, ooh, these are skills. We need to learn them, practice them.
And then the discussion opens up. Different animals, different sports, different ideas about what works for them, thinking, feeling, doing, that mind-body connection.
And the coach kind of guiding things behind the scenes leads them to realize basic mental skills that apply to everyone.
Then they start thinking about specific needs. Penny Pian wants positive self-image for a couple of others.
Harry Horse mentions self-awareness, knowing your strengths, weaknesses.
Betsy Bat is thinking about imagery, alternatives to just visualizing. Bonnie Beaver clearly needs goal setting.
Ekin Rabbit thinks Bernie Bulldog could use some relaxation. Probably true after chasing cats.
Deanna Donkey suggests positive self-talk for Fiona Flamingo. Octavio Ostrich sees Katie Kangaroo needing better attention control.
It's interesting how they immediately start diagnosing each other. But Eddie Eagle pulls them back.
Smart move. He says, focus on yourselves first. Think of these skills like a mental toolbox you build now, so you're prepared later.
Ollie Owl adds some wisdom. Change starts with yourself.
And Carrie Cougar points out that, hey, this mental work, it can actually be refreshing, stir you into action.
So they agree. Need to balance the physical and the mental in training and competition.
Katie Kangaroo commits to it after the technical, physical, tactical prep. She'll add the mental, baby steps.
Which prompts Tommy Tortoise's classic question. How do we make a start? Love that character.
He keeps things grounded. Marie Mongoose suggests they help each other out, share what they already know.
And Eddie proposes daily meetings. Talk about mental skills, ideal performance states, emotions.
He stresses starting with the basics, even if it feels a bit tedious. You got to examine the ideas, learn the skills, integrate them, monitor, refine. It's a process.
Right. It's not a quick fix, which flows perfectly into scene 2 then.
Scene 2, the skill of awareness.
Yep. Eddie kicks this one off asking, basically, anyone know anything about self-awareness?
Initial thoughts. Penny Peahen says it's knowing or understanding yourself. Pretty straightforward.
Ronnie Rhino thinks it's knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Ekin Rabbit adds knowing your potential, your capabilities.
Then Ricky Rat, always impatient, is like, yeah, I know myself. Next skill.
But Betsy Bat pushes back. She makes a great point. Just spending time alone doesn't mean you know yourself. Sometimes others see you more clearly.
That's insightful. Ollie Owl links it to self-perceptions, how you see yourself.
Which brings up Sammy Snake, who apparently has a negative view of himself.
Carrie Cougar expands it, saying self-awareness includes your feelings about yourself. Maxie Mouse adds acceptance and trust in yourself and others.
Fiona Flamingo shares her own experience again. Positive self-image leads to confidence, good scores, negative. Self-doubt, poor scores. Very direct link for her.
Odelauder talks about self-reflection, looking back at performances, good and bad, to learn. That's key.
And Linda Lama journals. Writes down her deepest concerns, thoughts, feelings, actions.
Which Octavio Ostrich immediately says is not for him. No journaling there.
But Oral Hoops Orangutan, interestingly, does journal. Helps him understand himself, track progress, or lack of it, release emotions. Even thinks that maybe he'll write a book someday.
So Maxie Mouse tries to sum it up. Self-awareness is looking at your strengths and limits, then deciding what you need to change to succeed.
Makes sense. But Fiona Flamingo is hesitant. She calls it inner shoveling, afraid what she might dig up.
That's a real fear for some, but Ernie Emu argues you have to look inward to make positive changes. Change your thoughts, change things.
Eddie Eagle then gives this a more complete definition. It's a thorough look inside, courageous journey. Requires responsibility, self-control, being open to change.
It's presented as a significant undertaking, not just a quick checklist.
And guess who asks the next question?
Gotta be Tommy Tortoise.
How do we make a start? Yep.
Eddie explains self-awareness is step one towards self-control, and that naturally leads to the next skill. Goal setting gives you direction, motivation.
Tommy asks again. He really wants the practical steps.
Patience, Tommy. Maria Mongoose suggests some actual exercises for self-awareness and self-confidence, and the group is ready to jump in.
Okay, leads us right into scene 3, the skill of goal setting.
Right. And we meet a couple of newcomers here, Lenny Lyon from judo and Manny Miss, ice hockey.
Eddie reminds them about the self-awareness work. Now, based on knowing yourself better, having more self-faith, trusting others, you can set realistic goals.
Ricky Rat, predictably. Oh, get on with it.
Eddie just calmly points out again, goals give you direction and motivation. Can't skip it.
Bonnie Beaver really believes in goal setting, calls it a powerful mental tool if the goals are positive and realistic.
Maria Mongoose adds that the mind needs purpose, otherwise it just drifts.
Odell Otter, the swimmer, talks about his journey. Used to have goals set for him, now he creates his own expectations. Big shift.
Ollie Owl warns against impossible or unclear goals. Says they can suck the fun out of things.
And Fiona Flamingo worries goals can become obsessive, cause anxiety. Valid concern.
Ernie Emu suggests keeping goals in perspective if they start feeling frustrating. Don't let them overwhelm you.
Then Ronnie Rhino chimes in, goals are about winning, and promptly trips.
Perfect timing. Ricky Rat probably loved that.
Maybe. But Octavio Ostrich offers a much better definition. Goals are a game plan, specific target, break down big goals into smaller steps, helps with persistence, sense of accomplishment.
That makes sense. And Bonnie Beaver actually shares her goal sheet. Remember that?
All the different types, skill goals, performance, training, mental, individual, team, long-term, short-term, strategy goals too.
And she writes them down, posts them up, makes them real.
Deanna Donkey connects it back again. With self-awareness, you can set really specific goals that fit you.
Which contrasts sharply with Ricky Rat's goal. I'm gonna be the best.
Way too general. Eddie Eagle jumps on that. Goals need precision. What's the end result? How will you get there? By when? How will you measure it?
Harry Horse learned that lesson. Focus goals on things you can control. Winning every race. Not entirely in your control.
Fiona and Lynette can relate. With judges involved in their sports, subjective element there.
Ekin Rabbit makes another sharp point. Achieving goals is often way harder than just setting them.
True that. Execution is everything. And Tommy Tortoise.
How do we make a start? He's so consistent.
Bonnie Beaver explains it starts with positive ideas, possibilities. Turn those possibilities into goals. Celebrate when you hit them. Then set new challenges. Keep improving.
Fiona hopes reaching goals will boost her confidence. Seems logical.
But Bernie Bulldog has had bad experiences. Goals just frustrated him, so now he avoids them.
Lenny Lyon keeps it simple with his goal.
And Eddie sums up scene 3. Better self-awareness helps set realistic targets and figure out the steps. But you also need to believe in your goals and have that inner drive, that motivation to actually achieve them.
Belief and motivation, key ingredients. Okay, that takes us to scene 4, a big one.
Scene 4, the skill of relaxing and energizing, both body and mind. Right on cue, Tommy Tortoise asks,
How do we make a start? Love it.
and Ricky Ratz just buzzing, yes, let's go, ready for action.
So wrapping up, we've seen the athletes really start this journey realizing mental skills aren't just optional extras.
Exactly. They've explored the absolute foundation.
And seeing this unfold through these animal characters with their different sports and personalities makes it so relatable, so practical.
And remember that core design, this ebook, is meant for role-playing. Having athletes embody these characters, speak these lines, debate these ideas, that's where the deep learning can happen in a team setting.
Absolutely. Using those scenarios directly, it really brings Dr. Hogg's material off the page.
And this is really just scratching the surface. The full LMS course at read.swimica.org goes much deeper into these skills and introduces others, all based on Dr. Hogg's decades of experience. Definitely worth checking out if this resonates with you. Links in the show notes.
So here's something to chew on as we wrap up.
Okay.
We saw how these animal athletes started understanding themselves and each other better just through these structured conversations in the scenes. How could you, perhaps using these specific scenarios in the ebook as a starting point for role-playing within your own team or group, accelerate that process of learning and applying these crucial mental skills in a really practical way?
That's a great question. Taking it from theory straight into practice, something definitely worth exploring.
We'd love for you to be involved. Get a copy of the book, get onto the course, get a site license for your team, stay connected with the International Swim Coaches Association and these efforts from the mental skills for young athletes. Furthermore, come to the ISCA meets. There's meets throughout the calendar year. Championship meets at the end of short course and long course, as well as open water swims.
Make a few clicks and subscribe to the podcast. Heavy or not, the OG Swim Guide is in production.